What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to day 10. I hope you guys are having a beautiful day or have had a great day. It really just depends on where you're watching. So we're on the way to the gym so I can take you guys through my third workout of this week, my favorite day of the week, leg day. On all seriousness, no, I am enjoying it a bit more and starting to find the love and passion for training legs. And sometimes I look forward to certain exercises like that pendulum squat. It's always like a fight between me and him or her. It really just depends. But yeah, we're gonna get after it today. So it's been a pretty busy morning. We went in there, did our arms, triceps and biceps are definitely feeling it. I'm feeling the soreness. It was a good one this morning. Managed to hit the same numbers for triceps, reps, and weight. And for biceps, we actually managed to increase weight and reps on both the second and last set. So pretty good start. After that, I had to come home and teach a maxi climber class that I do every other Wednesday. It's a 20-minute HIIT cardio class. Go on Instagram Live. It's part of my sponsor. So it's not really the best and most ideal thing to do before a leg day, but nothing a little bit of rest and food can't fix. And don't worry, I didn't forget the one thing and only thing besides arm day that I have to do every single day, because at this point I just feel like it's bad luck if I don't do it. So we're gonna keep this up all the way through. But what do you say we go grow some legs? Let's go have some fun. All right, so rep range wise, when I do standing calf raises, I typically like to go heavy on those. So I go anywhere between 8 to 10. If I can get to 12, sure. On my last set, I'll always go to failure. And when I can't no more, I'll finish with partials. And then when I go to the seated calf raises, those I like to go a little bit at the higher rep range. Maybe send one, especially my first one, maybe 15 to 20, and then the rest 12 to 15. But if you guys can tell, my biggest focus when doing, whether it's the standing or seated, is getting that deep stretch at the bottom, holding it for about a second or two. And when you come up, obviously trying to get that peak squeeze at the top for at least a second or two, controlling the eccentric. But you really want to focus on that stretch. Don't just stop parallel. Focus on getting that deep stretch, drive that heel down to the ground, and then drive with your toes up to try and get that good squeeze in.
At the top, see the top, I'm on top. See the guap, get the guap, that's a lot. Hit the gas, need no brakes, I don't stop. Yeah, oh my God.
So if you've done the standing calf raise or the seated calf raise, you'll notice the difference is that when you're doing the standing one, you're really allowed to get that stretch that I was talking about where you can really drive the heel down. And depending on the seated one, which is gonna really train more of the shortening position of the calf compared to more of that lengthening position when standing. If you could do both and you have access to both, it's really the best of both worlds. But like I said, if you were to choose one, I would say the standing one. But when doing seated one, again, you'll notice that you can't really drive the heel as low as you would when doing the standing one. So just drive as low as you can. You're gonna feel like neutral really, but really try and drive up. And that's why I personally like to go a little bit lighter on these, because it's heavy at the top. It's really hard when going really heavy. So I save a heavy one for the standing and a little bit lighter for the seated.
Hit the gas, need no brakes, I don't stop. Yeah, oh my God. At the top, see the top, I'm on top. See the guap, get the guap, that's a lot. Hit the gas, need no brakes, I don't stop.
All right, now moving on to something more enjoyable than just training calves, the glutes. Now, my men out there, my boys, I'd highly suggest that you train the glutes. One, it's also a very good warm-up to go into your bigger lifts, whether you're squatting or deadlifting. But two, it's also gonna strengthen and protect your lower back. Most people have lower back pain, and a lot of guys don't train their glutes, and that could be a quick and easy fix. And number three, if you want a lot of attention, I'd highly suggest getting a fat ass, because when I was 225 pounds during my peak bulk, I was the talk of the block. And then when I got shredded and lost my ass, ain't nobody want to talk to me anymore. So the key is, have a fat ass.
In my Earl Grey hood bunched up with the cheese, eggs, and a dumb face, no stunner shade still turned up. Been had it poppin' in broad day, that's Avi. Flower child from the sun rays, but I run fade, got a punch drunk. My Providence, they don't love us, sniffing and treat us like an animal. They wonder why we on aid. Escaping shit, I'm off the cannabis. Middle fingers in tandem, going tantrum, yelling 12 with a big smile, young phantom. Hi, mama, camera. Coming live from the mud pit, we don't take posts.
My ass is on fire.
Stress-free, live and die young, I leave it on the canvas.
No, we don't.
Yes, we do.
No, we don't. You got a new hoodie?
We do. Yes, my girl got me a different color.
Exactly. My man's been wearing the same hoodie for the past year and a half in every single video, but now he got a different one. So you're gonna change your.
Change the colors. It won't look the same.
You should do one post every single like flip flop. That way, when you see the page, you're like, wow, this is very like aesthetic. Yeah, we're not doing it together, but well, I'm technically not warming up. This is actually part of my workout.
All right, then get it in. Bro.
the ceiling. I've been living out the moon roof with it. I'm in tune with my senses, kill the tune with my sentence. Yeah, I've been in the mood, gotta feel.
All right, so just taking a little break because that last set was pretty intense. I didn't record it, but my legs were shaking. So two things I want to say. Number one is if you're really looking to grow your legs, here's a pro tip from a skinny guy. If it's just not working out for you when training your quads and your hamstrings, don't forget and don't neglect to do this exercise because it's going to train your inner thigh. And if you train your inner thigh, it's going to make your leg look overall bigger. And number two, see these handles right here that you're going to see me grab on when we move on to the next exercise? The handles are there for a reason. Don't be the person that's just doing the exercise and texting, or doing the exercise and having your arms crossed and thinking about what you're going to do this weekend. If you're doing that, then you're not really pushing it. So if you want to grow your legs, you got to push it. Use the handles, use the anchor to try and provide as much force and power as you possibly can. All right, moving on. Single leg extension. Two quick things. Number one, if you haven't watched my leg day workout with Danny, where we attempted our 1 rep max deadlift, I highly suggest go check it out. It was a very fun and entertaining video. And number two, the reason why I love these Prime machines, you may have access to them or not, but if you do, they're great because you can play around with the resistance. And I know I've been talking about that in some of my videos, but especially when something like this, I can put most of the resistance in the beginning and in the middle. So then at the end, when I really want to get that squeeze, it becomes very light and then I can actually contract, compared to if it was vice versa. If it was really heavy at the top, it would be very hard for me to get that contraction. So move out of the way. Those are never fun. Personally, there's nothing wrong with doing both legs. I actually do those on one of my mornings just to get a little extra quad work, but I prefer to do it single leg just because I can focus more on that one leg, especially coming from a history of knee pain. That way I can really try and isolate and focus on that one specific leg, then using both to try and get the weight up. And then last thing, you can see the difference of when I grab onto the handle, grab onto the seat, anchor myself, create some stability to try and force the weight up, compared to if I just, I could do it, but it's gonna be so much harder. So if you can get a few more reps by stabilizing yourself, you're gonna make more gains. Science. Dude, single leg extensions, I swear to God, if you've never done them, these shits are hard. They definitely kick the wind out of me. One little cue I like to give myself is just think about kicking yourself in the forehead. I promise you, you won't. But really try and drive that leg up. This is what people are doing while you're working out. Someone's always watching you. This is great. All right, so wrapping up the seated hamstring. Some of these machines just look like roller coaster machines. When training my hamstrings, you're probably only going to see me doing a seated hamstring curl or maybe a line hamstring curl machine, and very rarely a dumbbell deadlift or a barbell deadlift, because I used to do that in the past in my CrossFit days. I did lots of cleans, lots of Olympic lifts, and while they are great, I highly suggest always doing compound lifts, especially if you're newer to the gym, and then focus more on isolation exercises. As a bodybuilder in men's physique, obviously I'm trying to specifically train certain exercises, which is why I prioritize a lot of isolation exercises, but most of your muscle should come from compound exercises. And I personally just found these to be a lot more safe for me because I've had back or knee injuries in the past. And if I can do this long term, then I can guarantee myself that I will build muscle over time if I can stay safe and continuously progressive overload it over time. All right, here we go. Moving on to the exercise I look forward to the most. Just kidding, I really don't, but I have to pretend like I do, because if not, it will absolutely crush me, as it already does every week. I have a real love and hate relationship with this exercise. I go in there with the intention that I'm going to absolutely crush it, it won't crush me. So by now my legs are definitely warmed up. The reason why I like this exercise is because I can really get deep into that squat. As you'll see, my hamstrings are gonna really dig in there, get in contact with my calves, and then I can really focus on driving out of there. This is by far the deepest squat I'll be doing in my leg workouts. My leg workouts are usually pretty long because I only have one leg workout a week, so I try and hammer everything I possibly could. So it is a little bit longer. I do take my time in between sets because it does get pretty intense, especially when doing something like this. Now, back in the day, I used to do a lot of barbell squat or Smith machine squat, front squat. Now I'm just a fan of machines. So for me, it would either be a hack squat, a leg press, or something like this. But for me, I just prefer it because I feel good. At the end of the day, you'll do the exercise that you feel better doing, especially on your joints. So for me, it just feels good. And lately, I've just been progressing. That's all I can really ask for. All right, so let's go over the sets while we rest because I take my precious time before I go on to my final set. I know it's going to be absolute war, just like every set, honestly. But first set, we did 50 pounds for 15 reps. And I know it doesn't sound too impressive, but believe it or not, the pendulum squat by itself with no weight is pretty damn heavy. So 50 pounds in the back compared to in the front, because when you put it in the front, the weight kind of like counterbalances a little bit. But when you put it in the back, you really feel most of that load at the bottom, which is where I actually want it. Second set, we went 60 pounds, 13 reps, and now I'm probably gonna go 70 and maybe land anywhere between the 10 to 11. Maybe we should just go 75 just because you guys are watching, and let's just fucking go crazy. Let's do it. We're going 75, all or nothing. Last set. What song would you choose? I'll tell you mine right now. Let me know in the comments below though. Out of all my favorite rock songs here, I would go with Linkin Park, Pushing Me Away. Something about that song that just hits. All right, let's go do it. My soul has left here. Why I never walked away. And last but not least, we have the lying hamstring curl, which you just gotta go like this. And just get the craziest pump of your life on your hamstring. It's like doing a bicep curl. That's why I love it, honestly. But I'm telling you, after that exercise, I'm just done. I just want to go home, eat, and take a little nap if possible. So for those lying hamstring curls, I just do 2 hard working sets, and that is it. And I'm done. So I'm sorry I didn't stick around to talk to you guys through it. I showed you guys a little clip, as you guys saw here and at the gym. But that is it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Honestly, I did have a lot of fun in that pendulum squat. I just look forward to it now because as much as I hate it, I actually love it. And like I said, I have been seeing a lot of improvements with it. So at this point, I just want to keep the ball rolling, baby. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you're new. And I'll catch you guys for day 11 tomorrow, baby. Peace. Still gotta eat.
We ready, been ready, I waited, my turn, on God, held steady, I keep